Hanlon,
Here.
Noggle,
Here.
Spoon,
Here.
Wagers,
Here.
Mullins.
Aye. Would you all please join me in the standing to say the Pledge of Allegiance? Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you. The next item on our list, item number 3, is the opportunity for the public to be heard. And I understand we have nobody that signed up tonight. So we'll move on to the fun thing. And this is where we give out Spirit Award. And I'm going to be the first one to get up and talk. If somebody will help me with this microphone. Is that on or not? Now it's on. Okay. Please, I need the debate team and Mr. Moses to come and join me at the front, please. I think we have some exceptional debate team players, and this is so cool. And Mr. Bivens, please join me at the front too. You made the nomination, and I just want to read what it says first, and then we'll let Coy and Ryan talk about what's going on. I've got some awards for you, but first off, this is the Spirit Award, and you got to help me out. I'm gonna put you to work. You got to hold those for me for a second, because I want to read what it says. I got to see one of them. I'm not smart enough to hold them all. It says the Sandite Spirit Award. Sand Springs Public Schools proudly presents the certificate to, and it's got their name. It says for outstanding achievements and accomplishments as a Sand Springs Public Schools student or community partner. And we like to think what we do in Sand Springs. It says at the bottom, says challenge minds, inspire hearts, empower a community of learners. And talk about learners. Thank you. You're such a big help today. Learners, that's what this group of students do. And Mr. Bivens made this nomination. And what he says was, I'd like to nominate our speech and debate students for the Sandite Spirit Award in recognition of their outstanding accomplishments and representation of Charles Page High School. This year, Charles Page High School students achieved an exceptional success at the National Speech and Debate Association level. Lyndon Archer Hargett, and if I say your name wrong, it's my bad, I apologize, was selected to represent the Eastern Oklahoma District at Nationals. In addition, our World Schools debate team of Ashton Shea, Saber Eason, Paula Gutierrez Loya, Evan Brown, and Gavin McLaren qualified for Nationals with an undefeated record, demonstrating, very good, demonstrating, this is what part I like too, exceptional teamwork, preparation, and dedication. That's what we do in Sandite land right there. Charles Page High School also continues its strong national presence in the policy debate with Lyndon Archer Haggart and Miley Crownover qualifying for the National Urban Debate League tournament for the 3rd consecutive year. These students exemplify true Sandite spirit through their commitment, perseverance, and excellence at the national stage. And if anybody wants to argue with them, I mean, you're more than welcome to try, but I have a feeling you're going to lose. So please, Mr. Biven, you want to tell us more about this group?
Yeah, don't try arguing with them. I've tried it. I'll lose every time. These guys, and this isn't all of them, but I think Mr. Moses has done a fantastic job of growing this program. Debate teachers are not easy to find, and we've in the past been searching, and we were able to find Mr. Moses, and he's not only answered our problem, he is the answer. Like he's taken our debate team to new heights, and just proud of all of these guys.
You're here. I'm going to ask Mr. Moses if he wants to say something.
Hello, everyone. For those of you in this room who have not met me, you've been introduced to me. My name is Mr. Moses. I am not a Sand Springs native. I didn't grow up here. I came to this district, and truly, it's an incredible family to become a part of. It's a great district to become a part of. And if you don't know much about the speech and debate world, it takes a lot of time. And the amount of time that it takes to put into it from a logistics level, like I'm going to quote Ms. Campfield here if you're familiar with her. She once called herself a bus driver. And I kind of feel the same way. Because there are so much there is so much that happens behind the scenes that, like, being here and being recognized would not be possible without some of the amazing students that are on this stage. Like, it is truly an honor that should go out to them. I'm happy to be at the helm of this metaphorical bus, though, bringing speech and debate back to Sand Springs. We've managed to do some incredible things at the high school over the last 2 years. We brought the first OSSA speech and debate tournament back to Charles Page, the first one in, I think, 10 years, Mr. Biven, or if anybody else is familiar with that. We have had multiple students qualify multiple years in a row for various highly regarded competitions, regionals, and OSSA state. This year, we had the only policy team, which is Mr. Archer and Miley, on our side of the state. Everybody else was from the West. We beat out Jinx, we beat out Bixby, we beat out all of these other big schools. And truthfully, not because of the time that I am putting into this, but because of the time that the students themselves are putting into being dedicated to a program that they are a part of. And every single little bit of time that I get to put into that is worth it, because I see how much it matters to these fine young adults right here. And some of them have been with me for 3 years. I know that I've only been at the high school 2, but this young man right here, I had as an 8th grader. This one right here, Ashton, I had as a 7th grader. Addie Dexter over there, I had an 8th grade U.S. history, and somehow I convinced her to come over and join speech and debate, and it's been a wonderful ride the entire way. I am truly appreciative to be a part of this community, and that Mr. Biven and, again, the board would feel the need to recognize our students and what we have going on. So next year, if you have a little bit of time in January, and you see that we are hosting the 2nd annual Westside Showdown Charles Page Speech and Debate Tournament, if you feel the need to volunteer a little bit of your time and come out and judge for us, we'd love to have you. And other than that, thank you guys so much. They're not all here.
Miley's not here. Evan?
No.
Evan's not here, okay.
Here.
Paula.
Paula. And what's the deal? Stop with the smoothie. Sadie? Not here. Archer. That's you, Billy. And Ashton. That's you. You guys are good. You guys are very good. Let's get a picture right now, please. Very nice.
Great job, guys.
Don't you feel these are for Ken? Somebody else got something for you.
I have Mr. Boyd. We'll just make you stay up here. How about that? Do you have the microphone? Well, thanks for staying up here, too. All right, well, it sounds like you're pretty amazing and that you've done some amazing things. So I'm just going to add to it. The Pacesetter Award is what Mr. Moses got, and it is an award that honors Sand Springs Public Schools faculty and staff who have gone above and beyond expectation while representing Sand Springs schools throughout the current or previous school year. So we're happy to present you with this. But Mr. Biven wrote some nice things about you, so I'm going to read them.
Okay.
It says, I would like to nominate Coy Moses for the Sandite Pacesetter Award for his outstanding leadership for our speech and debate program at Charles Page High School. This year, Coy led students to exceptional success at the National Speech and Debate Association level. A CPHS student was selected to represent the East Oklahoma District at Nationals. Now, who was that?
Mr. Archer.
Archer, good job. Stand up. Good job, Archer. I happen to know Archer just a little bit. He went to Limestone and was actually friends with my son, Jacob. So congratulations on all that you've done. So good job. Okay, I will go ahead and continue with this. And it says, and our World Schools debate team qualified with an undefeated record and incredible accomplishment. In recognition of his expertise, Coy has also been selected to coach the East Oklahoma District World Schools debate team at the NSDA National Tournament this summer. That's awesome. Additional, CPHS continues its strong national presence, qualifying a policy debate team for the National Urban Debate League tournament for the third consecutive year. Coy's dedication, leadership, and commitment to student success make him truly deserving for this recognition. So great job, and we're so proud of you. And I'm going to give you this award.
I just want to add one thing to this. Mr. Durkee or Mr. Biven at least sent some pictures to us. And my favorite picture of what they sent us, it has the kids, the young adults, sitting on the floor with papers all over the floor in very neat stacks. And I thought, they are really paying attention. They're organized. They're getting into it. I love what we saw. Very nice. Thank you all for what y'all do.
Okay, can I have Lacey Grisham and Lauren Rowley? Shout out to Indian Ed also. We have a powwow this weekend on Saturday. Just giving a shout out here. Okay, you have been nominated by Ms. Rowley. Lacey goes far beyond the expectations of her position. She keeps countless moving pieces organized behind the scenes, supports programs and events, assists families with patience and kindness, and makes sure nothing falls through the cracks. Many of the things she does may not always be seen publicly, but they make a lasting difference in how smoothly the department operates and how supported people feel. What stands out most about Lacey is that she never hesitates to step in and help. A true Sandite. If something needs to be done, she does it, often before anyone even asks her. She genuinely cares about the students in the community she serves, and that shows in the extra time, effort, and attention she gives to her work. Lacey represents Sand Springs Public Schools with professionalism, compassion, and pride. Her reliability, strong work ethic, and commitment to going above and beyond throughout the school year make her incredibly deserving of recognition as a Sandite Pacesetter. Congratulations. Ms. Rowley, would you like to add anything?
Just one example of Lacey's determination, because she has been well-deserving for many years, but this is our third full year together. And when we started, we had 700 kids in Indian Ed. And we just did our last kind of round of who was in our program. And we have close to 1,200 students, and that's all Lacey. She does all of the enrollment. She does all of that tracking. So that's just one small example of how great she is at her job, because she really is amazing. So thank you, Lacey.
Okay, can I get Miss Erica up here? And Mr. Biven, would you like to come up as well? We should have just made you stay up here the whole time. So Mr. Biven, he wrote, "I am proud to nominate Erica Herring for the Sandite Pacesetter Award for her exceptional work as the communications coordinator and registrar at Charles Page High School. Erica goes above and beyond to highlight the success of our students, staff, and programs. Through her creativity and attention to detail, she has elevated how we share our story and strengthened communication for our community. She also isn't afraid to make the principal, look, I guess you could be the president. It was fine. The principal look a little silly in her videos, all in the name of promoting the school, which I have a feeling she doesn't have to twist your arm too much, because you guys are both pretty awesome. which speaks to her creativity and commitment to engaging our audience. In addition to her communications role, Erica serves as our registrar, where, that's a hard word to say, where she manages critical student information with accuracy, efficiency, and professionalism. She is a true team player who embodies the spirit of a Sandite pace setter. I agree. Erica's dedication and positive impact on our school community makes her highly deserving of this recognition. And I just gotta say, I absolutely love this. Erica is the ultimate hype girl. She is behind anybody and everybody, supporting them along the way, and I think this is truly deserving. Thank you so much. Mr. Bibb, would you like to?
I just realized that calling Erica Herring the registrar and the communications coordinator is a massive understatement. Like, she does way more than that at the high school. She's, I don't know, you're always there doing everything. And so I think it's also very important that we tell our story how it's supposed to be told. And our story comes from Erica. And she's the mastermind behind all of that. And so thank you so much.
Thank you.
Very nice. We appreciate the cooperation and Mr. Biven making nominations and other people. We like recognizing superstars, and we have an abundance of those in Sand Springs, so thank you all. We're now going to get into the business part of our meeting. Everyone is welcome to stay. I know we got some debate students that want to go home and do homework, so they're probably going to get up and leave. But if you desire to leave, now is a great time to leave. But again, we would welcome everyone to stay and watch us do the business of the school district.
Thanks for coming, guys.
Appreciate y'all very much. Ms. Durkee, we are at item number 6, which is instructional strategies. If you please lead us through that.
This might be the best month so far that we've had this year because our May agenda lends itself to end of the year activities, and then, as you can see, celebrations, which is great. And I would take you back to a few years ago when we were struggling finding a debate coach. We had a student that spoke to the board and basically asked for supporting that program, which we always want to do. But it just shows that you find the right person to lead in the charge and you get really positive results. So super proud of that. That was one of the attachments. Everything is just so positive to report tonight. Accreditation report came back clean as a whistle. Thank you, Angela Noel. She's at home recovering from a surgery right now. She's fine, but she's at home recovering. She actually did make an appearance today, and we promptly sent her back to her house to rest. But she just smart and knowledgeable and quick to learn, and she got through the whole process without a hint of anything wrong. So that was a really great thing to see our regional accreditation officer come back and send an email. Our 21st Century state office sent a thank you note just bragging on and on and on about Sean Beard, about Jamie Conrad, Claudia, all those folks that go into what makes the 21st Century program great. We're forever hosting regional meetings, and everybody sings their praises and are reaching out to our team to get help and direction and kind of how are you supposed to do this stuff, and they pattern after Sand Springs. So super proud of that. And then
Mr. If I might add something to
Absolutely.
that, I appreciated that letter. I just recognize there is a difference at the State Department of Education.
yes,
It's over the past few months. We probably wouldn't have got that letter a couple
No,
of years ago.
correct.
So I appreciate that. And also what I noticed in it was the willingness of the Sand Springs people to assist in other parts of the state,
Right.
in other communities, sharing the expertise that we've got with other districts, allowing them to succeed also. So thank you all for doing that. That's pretty special.
Yeah, getting those kinds of things in the mail, especially at the end of the year when we're all trudging toward the end of the year and it gets super busy, maybe a little stressful, and then finding those things, those little nuggets of gold that make your heart happy and want to sing. To be honest, you wouldn't want me to sing, but I'm just saying it does make your heart happy. Really makes a payoff for what we do. So, upcoming, specifically, the big one, of course, is graduation at Charles Page, the 16th, and then Page graduation is the Tuesday before graduation. I think I might have said after last time, but it's before. So, Tuesday, Page, Saturday, the high school. And then just thanks to Ms. Spoon, I don't know if the rest of you have volunteered to help with testing, but proctoring, state testing is not that great of a job, to be honest. A little boring, but very important. So thank you, Ms. Spoon, for taking the time to do that. And then lastly, item number 23 is a new one. This is one of the things Ms. Smith mentioned when she told you there were 4 things that we were doing for parent involvement last month. She deserves complete credit for it. So you're going to see an item about remodeling one of our old buses into a reading bus, which is phenomenal. So just took a lot of work on her part to capture some ideas and make them happen. So kudos to our team. Yep. So questions?
Very nice. But if there are any questions on any of the items, I just want to congratulate too, Claudia. Nice job putting all that together with the bus. I'm looking forward to seeing that go around the town. Make it happen.
We did have a picture of Muskogee's bus that we might have copied just a teeny bit, but it's going to look so much better, I promise.
It's not the activity bus, is it, that we're
No.
giving away? So, it's one of the old ones.
Yeah, exactly.
Any other questions for Ms. Durkee? Move on to item number 7, talk about resource innovation.
Finance, we are busy this month trying to wrap up building projects. I just expressed to Ms. Spoon that I will work really hard not to have 3 major projects in one bond issue that are completed within 3 years, which is the limitation. I'm proud to say we'll have completed all 3 of those in 2, which means we were working really hard. Summer is Mr. Clemens is in the back of the room. I can't even start to even tell you about how his world works over the course of a 7-day week, which is where he's at most of the time. But it's a lot of moving parts this summer with furniture and moving and lawn mowing and leaks to fix. We had a new one pop up today at Clyde Boyd in the parking lot. So it's just a never-ending saga, but we are on it. School will open up with a new middle school for 7th and 8th graders in August, ready to go. And the press box, we are praying, is ready by the first home ball game. Elevator is going to be the big hang-up if we have one. I think at some point, we probably in August, at some time, maybe before board meeting, I don't know, we need to do a grand tour with the board. Like, I need to show you all the things, because on top of those, we also added the annex, the athletic annex that was the Methodist Church property, and Page Academy front. So we just absolutely piled it on this year, and we are all feeling a little bit of tiresome stress. I don't know what you call it, but we're feeling it. So, but it's all good. It's all worth it. State revenue trends up this year. We are glad about that. However, inflation's on the rise as well. The projection for fiscal year 27 doesn't look quite as good. So we're always keeping an eye on the finish line as a new season awaits us. I'm going to be honest, I haven't seen the $2,000 raise cross the finish line, but it may have, and I just missed it. But we talked through that with the SSEA today. I mean, as you know, I meet with them every month before the board meeting, and the question was, are we doing 2,000 across the board? And the answer is yes, on top of our pay scale. The law actually says teachers, but when you add 2,000 to the scale, that means everybody that's paid off the certified scale. So counselors, speech paths, school psychologists, nurses, anybody that would qualify under certified would receive that. And then it'll be pretty soon this summer that we're going to be recommending an additional 1% district paid teacher retirement for their retirement burden too. So just wanted you to kind of know that in advance. Good stuff. I know you're probably seeing some news articles out there about districts who are wondering if the state aid formula dollars that are additional this year will be enough to cover it. We think that's going to be the case in Sand Springs. None of us are worried about it. There was additional money for the new RSA law as well, so we think we're going to be okay. And of course, as you know from kind of tracking our budget and expenditures and such, we are very solid. So Alongside that, item number 40, Mr. Wine might want to give you a reflection of that. This is a new program for next year, and he's recommending it's adding and receipting, or tracking and receipting purchases. So in our accounts payable office, specifically with our activity funds, it can get a little bit burdensome, to be honest, and that's probably one of the hardest areas to track. So Cassidy, I don't know if you want to elaborate a little bit on what that system does.
Yeah, it just makes everything more digital. Right now, we have like a 3-ply receipt book that all of our activity groups have, where they're writing out receipts, tearing them off, and they always get pulled in an audit, always. And so there's a ton of schools that have InTouch, Owasso, Skiatook, Union, and from what I've heard, they love it, and it's really more of a relief on the site's part, because they'll have a tablet, whether it's cash check or digital payment, credit card or debit card. They'll receipt that in as such, and then it automatically sends a receipt to the parents. So it's kind of a one-stop shop for all things fundraising is really what we're looking at it for. There's a lot of back-end setup work to it, but I think once it gets rolling, it'll be really nice versus paper receipting.
So questions, finance, facilities, all things?
I have a couple of comments that there's been some noise that we're hearing about the legislature adding additional days to the school calendar, and what are the resources associated with that. And I don't believe that Sand Springs will have to add days to
Right.
the calendar. You could just walk us through that, Mr. Irvin,
Absolutely.
please.
So as you know, you've already approved the calendar for next year. We were able to spend a little bit of time with Speaker Hilbert talking through what additional days would do and impact. I think the intention of the legislature was to get kids back in school, which frankly, I applaud, to be honest, because I think that kids need to be in school to learn. I probably will never back down from that position. I think we as teachers and educators do the best job teaching kids how to learn, but also building character and such. Counselor Jackson is in the audience. He has also put his name in the hat politically for state office, but he called the other day asking that very question, Mr. Mullins. And because we never narrowed our calendar, we will be able to meet that requirement without flinching. So essentially it changes nothing in Sand Springs. So I'm pretty proud of that. The fact that over time we've continued to stay true to our school calendar and making sure kids were getting the instruction. So for us, because we never ventured down that path of we're out on Fridays or we're going to narrow our days, we just didn't do it. We're going to be good.
Good, thank you. Last thing is
Great
on
question.
resource innovation, and Ms. Durkee talked about construction activities and having 3 or 4 projects going simultaneously. Let me just brag on our superintendent a little bit. I've been involved in some of those construction meetings, and Sherry gets into the weeds. I mean, they don't pick a color without getting Sherry's approval on it. They'll have 4 or 5 colors out there. They don't ask me for colors, I promise you that. But Sherry picks the colors, she tells them what to do, she answers all their questions, and I appreciate that, Sherry. That's a big deal.
Thank
to follow
you.
that many construction projects like you've done. Keep them on time, keep them on budget, and the quality is there.
It
So,
is there.
Thank you.
So
It's
I'm guessing Richard checks you for ticks since you've been in the weeds.
no, actually, he does not. I haven't had one yet in a while. Anyway, no, it's you have to stay on top of it. I'm not going to lie, but I get a lot of help too. So kudos to you for coming and being involved in, because there's stuff you catch that I wouldn't catch mechanically, that I wouldn't know. But just the idea of folks knowing that you're watching is kind of the magic of it. And we have some good people, like LD Kearns and Ethos have been amazing partners, and they're just sharp people. And then Cassidy, having him along for the ride. You know, initially he was hired to help us do bond projects. He definitely has the prowess for it and the background. And then he got suckered into being the CFO. I'm joking a little bit. He does such a good job. But he's coming to him too. And Chris, you know, has an issue over the weekend, and Cassidy's right on top of it right with him. So it's just building a team that moving in the same direction and know the purpose and what we need to accomplish, and they just get it done.
We
So,
even had Rod Sitton and Coach Klink in the construction meetings
oh,
with us as
listen,
well. And
we did a
that's
tour of
interesting.
the stadium, or of the press box last week, and Sid and I both climbed to the very top, like on the roof of it. They had us all, fenced in and such, but got some pretty fabulous pictures. I think I shared the
You
folder
did. You shared 'em.
with you guys, but it will take your breath smooth away. And so really want you to have the opportunity to go up and just visualize it. It's crazy. It's so good. Cass was a little bit jealous, I think, last week when we got to do that. And
Me too. I'm ready
Yeah.
to go. I'm ready to go.
Was I out or did I just not get
you
the
were
invite?
at ASBO. You were okay, ASBO, man. He said, that is not fair. I'm done. I said, no, you're not.
Any other questions for Ms. Durkee on resource innovation or comments? Please, Ms. Durkee, lead us in through item number 8, talk about empower families and communities.
So Coffee with Cabinet was last week. It's interesting because our little friend, Farron Kelly, I say little friend, he's a staple in terms of substituting at Clyde Boyd Middle School, but he comes to almost every one of those meetings. And we did have a parent, another one that was there. He's a grandparent. And we got into this very robust conversation about Chromebooks and the idea of really kind of heading toward a balance between teacher interaction with kids versus what we know they need in technology. And so it was a very robust discussion. I think we are all on the same page. And so we're going to kind of head down that route about our plan is to put carts in the 6th grade center this year and kind of maneuver that in, phase it in over time. Having conversations with our elementary team about, how we teach kids and do more interaction versus just a screen. I don't think it's prevalent everywhere. I'm not saying that we're doing it terribly. I'm just saying it's an awareness of what screen time, how it can impact young minds. And you all that went to NSBA got to hear the speaker that really reiterated that. And I think we're all learning as we move on away from, kind of that COVID area where it was thrown in our face and we had to go there. There was no choice. So, for sure, absolutely. Right. But then, of course, we've got too much screen time. Sure. Which, to me, affects them as well. Mm-hmm. So, or you get the paperwork and it's the dog ate your homework. Well, this at least. Right. Right. It's true. Well, I mean, they are smart. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, kids are smart on those things.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
When it comes to social interaction with someone other than their peers, that's where I feel like we're starting to lose the kids when they cannot have a conversation with an adult and have an adult type
Right.
conversation and problem solve without having Chat GPT to tell them what the answer is. I think that's where we're losing them.
I agree with you.
We need more of that, and that's what's great about the debate. I mean, those people have to talk.
Right.
And it's
Right.
That's true.
Maybe. That's helpful. I believe they made that permanent too, which is also a great thing. I will. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I will say. What was the name? Cass, the gentleman that spoke. It was an interesting conversation in the keynote because he was talking about how Gen X overall, and they have data to show that IQ is lower, just ability to think, critical thinking is lower with that generation. But he said, I'm going to give you some hope because if we can just get away from so much lower. Yeah, sorry. Gen Z. My bad. Yeah, thank you. I hear you. Thanks for the correction. What did I say? Gen Z. Yeah.
Alpha is the first generation.
Right. Sorry, I misspoke. But the point was, he said, if we can get screen time away from the littles, then all of a sudden they learn how to critically think, and then they have a tool that is abundantly effective. And so you take the critical thinking with what AI components can do, and he said, I really think the next generation will be smarter. It was like a wake-up call at the same time as being something that was positive. So we just got to find that balance. Sean and I talk about this all the time. There is a balance. And we've got to find that, and I think now's the time. We've got to get it done. So
Yeah, I think it's probably not real popular with the teachers, but the more we get away from the computer, the more we get pieces of paper handed out. They actually have to write on the piece of paper
Right,
and do the work by hand and
right.
use the computer as a tool instead of a crutch.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
we can get
We've
back
learned
to
a lot, I will say, from that transition into from 2020. It's been interesting.
Well, I mean, when we first started talking about one-on-one, I'm like, yeah, that's great.
I know.
We're
I
going to be the
know.
best.
I agree.
And now we're like, get them away.
I know. Well, it was a race to get them, and you got kind of jealous of the other districts that could afford to one technology, and we
circle.
were kind of behind that race card, and then we had to come up with them. So, anyway, I will say, Farron Kelly, shout out. He's not even probably listening, but he was recognized. My little friend that comes to Coffee and Cabinet every single time was recognized at the city council meeting at 6 o'clock. He was citizen of, I don't know what John Hess. What did he? Hometown hero. Thank you, Brian. It was cool. And then he saw us in the back, or me in the back, and he said, I'm going to give her a shout out because we go to Coffee with Cabinet every month, and he was encouraging others. I don't know if that little infomercial will do any good, but hopefully we can build it. And of course, this is the time of year where we see families get involved with a lot of events. So senior families are horribly busy right now with all the things. And of course, parents show up for awards assemblies and stuff. So it's really fun to get them in the building with us, celebrating all of the things.
This is a good place to bring this up, but Saturday, my niece Kinley she participated in a memorial fundraising barrel race for Tanya Lawley's
Oh, that's great. That's awesome.
son, who passed away in January. For those of you who don't know, Dalton Lee was
That's right.
calf roper and a highly competitive calf roper, and passed away in an accident in January. But they had a benefit, and the benefit was for a scholarship. And this year, the scholarship is going to go to a Sand Springs senior who's going to go on to a tech school.
Fantastic. That is so good.
Yeah, it was a good benefit. A lot of people showed up.
Great.
I don't know how much money they raised, but hope it was a lot.
We were at the Indian Ed banquet Thursday night, I think. I gave out a couple of awards, but just the celebratory. And the Indian Ed community is amazing. So I would like to plug the powwow. I don't know, Lauren left, but it's Saturday. And she says to come between 6 and 10. So if you're interested, that might be a highlight of your weekend. So I think it's at the stadium, right?
Saturday
Yeah,
at the
it's at the
stadium, I saw
stadium. 6 to 10, that's when they dance. She goes, you can come earlier, but you really won't want to cut. It's kind of boring, she said. I don't know if it's boring or not boring. Then you have vendors. And so, but yeah, yes. But the festivities it does start at 1. But she said, come later because that's when you kind of get to see the culture.
And it's probably on Indian time too. So
Maybe.
It might,
Maybe.
that's what Erin says all the time. She's always late. She's like, it's
That's
Indian time.
hilarious.
Indian time.
Anybody can come. Yeah, anybody can come. So I would suggest showing up. It's just, that's a brilliant program as well. We have a lot to celebrate.
Thank you, Ms. Durkee. Any other questions or comments related to empowering families and communities? Item number 9, please, Ms. Durkee, health and safety related issues.
So Mr. Smith, I reported, has been out a little bit due to health concerns. So the safety meeting this month was canceled. It's not a monthly requirement. However, we do that anyway. So nothing related to accreditation would be something we needed to worry about. Still struggling a little bit to find the source, but he's doing better. Summer work is important now, though. So right now, Chris Clemens is scheduling site requests. And so we address everything from paint to a leak at Clyde Boyd that, could cause problems with the asphalt and the drive, which is happening just in time for that demo project that's also on the board agenda this month. And then we have a meeting tomorrow with our resource officers and secondary principals to initiate a plan for drug dogs next year. So more to come. I know John Noah is full of ideas and has wanted to start this, and I've been the stopgate, I'm not going to lie, just because I've always been a little bit apprehensive of running dogs in school, but I think we're getting to a place where just mostly preventative. Maybe people know that there's a possibility that we could be running dogs, and I really don't want to get caught, so that would be at least my incentive for trying to do that. So it's coming up really soon.
Do we have a policy in place for drug dogs on campus?
Not yet. But that's something we'll be looking at for sure. We have animals on campus, but not drug dogs. So that's another thing we're going to look at. Lisa's joining the team in this one too, just because communication. We've got to do a very good job, I think, of getting that out to families and such. So
Very good. Any other questions for Ms. Durkee on item number 9? Ms. Durkee, would you lead us through the consent agenda items, any items that you need to bring to our attention?
absolutely. So I would point out item E on number 19, and that's just the events. They're listed in terms of literacy night, Pages Across the Plains, those things that we're working through to help families be more in tune with upping the game and reading for their young students. I would highlight number 23. It goes alongside that, and that's the modification to the Transportation Department bus for reading bus. I love it. Item number 25, this isn't really new, except it is for now because this is our approval of the letter of intent to apply for the 21st Century Grant for Garfield and Northwoods. As you know, this is the last year of that grant for those buildings. Super important. And then Clint Treese is here tonight. We also on the agenda is our contract or MOU with Family and Children's Services. We've always known that as Daybreak. And Clint is our lead basically for Sand Springs. So thank you for being here, Clint, to represent. And then item number 40, that's that software item that Mr. Wine was talking about. And then 41, review and approval to surplus the contents of Clyde Boyd Middle School 7th and 8th Center with the exception of the auditorium and gym. So new furniture means the old's got to go. So there'll be surplus, public auction. We'll see what happens. If they're not gone, then demo's going to happen regardless. So
Did you say auction?
publicsurplus.com. So I think we made it live today. It's a requirement by law before we can demo or get rid of things. We have to publicly surplus and then sell, because anything of value, if we can get money for them, we have to, as you should. So
Any questions on any of the consent agenda items that Mr. Durkee has presented or others?
Mr. President, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda items. Any further questions? Beth, I call for a vote, please.
Hanlon,
Aye.
Noggle,
Aye.
Spoon,
Aye.
Wagers,
Aye.
Mullins.
Aye. Item number 42, a proposed executive session to discuss temporary employment issue recommendations. Seeing no need for that, we'll proceed to item number 43, the proposed approval of temporary teacher recommendations for 26-27 school year. Entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion.
And I'll second.
Got a motion by Mr. Noggle and a second by Mrs. Spoon. Any questions or further discussion? Call for a vote for 43, please.
Hanlon,
Aye.
Noggle,
Aye.
Spoon,
Aye.
Wagers,
Aye.
Mullins.
Aye. Item 44, proposed executive session to discuss employment recommendations for next year for one administrative assistant. Seeing none, I'll go to 45, a proposed approval of that position.
I'll make a
We
motion.
have a motion by Mrs.
Second.
Spoon and a second by Mr. Noggle, just reverse of last time. Any questions or discussion?
Nope.
Call for a vote, please.
Hanlon,
Aye.
Noggle,
Aye.
Spoon,
Aye.
Wagers,
Aye.
Mullins.
Aye. Item number 46, the proposed executive session to evaluate our superintendent.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
We got a motion and a second. Call for a vote, please.
Hanlon, Noggle,
Aye.
Spoon,
Aye.
Wagers,
Aye.
Mullins.
Aye. We will try to make this short, but it's evaluating our superintendent, so sometimes that gets very difficult. So. We are now in open session. The time is
8:27.
And while in executive session, the board discussed the following superintendent evaluation. Those present were Superintendent Durkee, Ms. Hanlon, Mr. Mullins, Mr. Noggle, Ms. Spoon, and Ms. Wagers. No other matters were discussed. No votes were taken. I will tell you, though, that the agreement was to continue the employment of Ms. Durkee for another year. So, or I guess really 3 years. She has a 3-year contract. So I will just tell you, no bones, but we appreciate Ms. Durkee. And she has a wonderful team, which thank you for your indulgence of allowing us to participate in evaluations and things like that. So thank you all. Y'all make her better, I promise you. So
It's true.
we are now to item number, I have lost my place.
47, my friend.
47.
Item number 47, proposed approval to rescind Ms. Orme's resignation.
I'll make-
a motion.
That one.
I was going to say, I'll make a motion to approve to rescind
I'll
Ms.
second.
Orm's resignation.
And I will
She's
say,
a keeper.
She's amazing.
We have a motion, I missed who made the motion, by Ms. Wagers?
Yes.
And a second by Ms. Spoon?
Yep.
To rescind the resignation. Any questions? Call for a vote, please.
Hanlon,
Aye.
Noggle,
Aye.
Spoon,
aye.
Wagers,
Aye.
Mullins.
Aye. Item number 48, Ms. Durkee, you're going to have to walk us through this one. This is for the demolition
So- right.
of Clyde Boyd Middle School.
That's correct. So we had a competitive bid opening. I see we very loosely, LD Kearns led that charge last week. Spent a couple of meetings together, ferreting through all of the different pieces. My biggest learning curve on this one was that it's a little bit harder to demo a building than what you might think, because we're keeping part of it. So it lent itself to where the utilities have to be cut off, how to navigate connection from the auditorium to the gyms with the fire control. And I mean, it was a lot. So what you're seeing is a breakdown of the different bid packages that do different things. I would mention there are alternates throughout, because we were, of course, having to stay in a budget. We feel very confident that all alternates can be accepted. So you're going to see all kinds of pieces. And if you have a question about any one of them, but basically 4 classrooms to the west of the auditorium will remain alongside the auditorium. Those classrooms will be converted into a STEM lab and
Music.
well,
music?
yes, drama, music for sure, but then there's another component. Help me. There sure is, and it's not coming to my brain. So those classes will remain. We're kind of talking about branding like a fine arts building, but the truth is, she might. The Wizard of Oz in the back might speak it. But we did need a few extra classrooms for elective courses. So those 2 classrooms or 4 classrooms will stay. The demo will happen and it's a natural break. You can see where Clyde Boyd has been added on to, and so on and so on. And then the center part of the building will be demolished to the old gymnasium. The old gymnasium will remain, and we'll be building on a small lobby on the east side of that building to enter into the old gym. So what will happen in the middle section will end with a parking lot and a bus loop, which will complete the grand plan to have the bus loop on the
Kind
south.
of right where the front door is at today will be the bus loop.
That's correct. That's correct. And then we'll have 2 entrances from the loop on the bus side, the south side. One will enter into the auditorium, the other to the gym, where we can stage kids before and after school. So the idea would be the 7th and 8th graders would stage in the auditorium when they get to school, and the 6th graders would be in the gym, and there would be that connection. So it's a really great plan, but so many details that one like myself would not maybe have considered the intricacies of all of what goes into that. So what you're seeing is a little bit of building in terms of the lobby, but also demolition, but then utilities that have to be sourced where they're supposed to be, and of course the addition of concrete and asphalt and all the things that go into to making it look pretty again.
Is there part of the bond that is going into the gym aside from the lobby? Is there going to be
So-
improvements on the gymnasium?
Yes, in some of the locker areas, we'll get some minor improvements. That bathrooms of the auditorium are going to be completely redone, so they're more functional than they are now. I'll just put it like that. Eventually, we're going to need to upgrade some of the locker rooms to make them look a lot better than they do now. But for now, the ones in the gym probably will remain with some lipstick, if you will, to make them look a little bit better. One of the things that we knew was going to be important is some storage for the football program, because as you know, they practice on the grass area on the north side of that area, and so there was some need for some additional storage. And then the locker rooms are going to get a little bit of a redo. I mean, we kind of ran out of money, so you've got to just take things as you can bite them off. I am anxious and excited to say that we can incorporate that, because it does finish the Clyde Boyd Middle School total project, so we have enough revenue lease to cover that portion. So we're taking that out of existing revenue lease money, which is exactly what the plan was. So thankfully, I think I can attribute some thanks to Zach Robinson, who was very creative in the way he structured the plan, in that we were able to accrue some interest, which has been really great, knowing that we had some additional costs to really make that happen. So it'll complete what we promised the public in terms of drop off and pickup, making, I think, it a safer place to come to school and go home.
And Sherry, all those items you discussed just now are included in this?
Absolutely,
$3.5
every single one of
million?
them, yeah. There's some contingency, obviously, with any additional project that, there's stuff that happens as you're demoing old and trying to reconstruct. There's always some things that arise that you couldn't plan for, but LD Kearns, they've been working on our buildings long enough that I think they're never surprised at anything that might be changed or needed in the midst of a project. So it'll finish not before school starts, though. I think you all need to know that. We'll be putting out some information about how drop-up and pickup's going to morph into the school year.
You're talking about the demolition will not
The
be
demolition won't be
finished.
finished by August. There's just no way. We're hoping by December so that it's kind of complete when the spring semester starts, but we'll be communicating with parents about how that looks. We're kicking around ideas, for instance, having parents line along, and then nothing's in stone, but along, is it 33rd Street that's on the north side of Boyd, 32nd? I can't remember if it's 32nd or 33rd. But coming in from the east toward the west and then looping around what was it's still the front of the sixth grade center, but that entrance in from the west.
Where the buses come
For the
through?
bus loop, yeah. But if we can wrap parents on the north side of the school versus coming in from the south, we can totally segregate parents from bus routes. So that is the big idea. So we've already started those discussions. In fact, we've had 2 meetings thus far, making sure we're all on the same page with LD Kearns and Ethos present. So everybody's on the same page and knows the plan.
One concern that I had, and I shared with Ms. Durkee early on, was once we start tearing down the existing building, we have to have a place for the kids to come to school next August. And so let's not start tearing it down until we're completely confident that the new building will be ready to go
Right.
on August the 1st. And we have assurance, and they're heading that direction. It
They're
looks
heading
very
that
That
nice.
was the incentive.
Right.
Like,
That might
you
be
have to
it.
have the
You
building
have
done.
to, 'cause
There's no
it's
question,
gone.
we can't change that
Now,
date.
so
We
because
cannot
we're
change
so
that
far
date.
into that project, though, and I think one of the biggest pieces that we thought might slow it down was the brick, and that was figured out a month or 2 ago. That's not the biggest worry anymore, and so we are on schedule. Everything that could have been a thing to come up to delay is pretty much over. All the materials are there. I think Brent said we had, 60 different people working at the same time the other day, in maybe 7 different, what's the word I'm looking for? 7 different subcontractor, or tile, plumbing, all these people were there at the same time.
What if it rains all of June?
It's not going to do that. And there were...
Alicia scratched
It might,
that
but
from
even at
being out
that,
there.
they're working on interior finishes now. So even if it were, HVAC's on right now. It's really about painting, laying the tile, getting the ceiling tiles up, making sure systems work. We're there. Audio enhancements coming in. We'll have the sound system, the intercom, all that's lined out, just pretty as a whistle. So I think the weather predicament would have
Won't
been,
impact
we're working on
that.
the exterior. Yeah.
We rode by there Saturday
You did?
on the bikes, yeah.
group.
The whole,
great.
that whole, the
Complex?
Tour de Tulsa,
Yeah.
yeah, everybody that was on Tour de Tulsa, no matter if they did the 30-mile or the 100-mile.
Rode by
ro-
the
rode-
school.
Rode on the north side of the school on that road, and then went on to Avery Drive and went
good.
home. But yeah, it was pretty cool. I came out of the neighborhood, you know, I'm like, whoa, I know where I'm at. There's the
Right, there it
school.
is. There it is. The biggest thing that we've got to get straight is the mailbox. I know that sounds silly, but our address is still our address, and they're gonna have to drop the mail off. And we changed the mail over at Page because the front was messed up, and we discovered that our mail hadn't been delivered in, 2 months, Beth? And so that was the whole thing. Like, I didn't know that they recalibrate the routes when you change where you drop the mail off. So every little detail, it matters. So that could be the biggest obstacle.
One thing we might want to offer too is have a special board meeting sometime in June
Yes,
to take the board through there before the building's finished and kind of see
Absolutely.
what it looks like.
yes. I
Very
think
nice.
that and the press box, I think you really
Good
would,
point.
it would behoove you to see the press box too. It's
You
amazing.
can have walls of that press box before I go up there.
Well, there's no walls yet.
Me too.
Air conditioning got to be on too.
They got it fenced, but there's not a
We'll
wall.
just attach you to it.
No,
And they've got those. They've got
I'm
those
with you,
little
Bo.
things.
me and Heights don't get along.
Me, we don't, I
Carabiner
don't
on your
either.
belt,
I'm with you.
carabiner on there.
The
Just
view
Did-
from the press box over the tennis courts, that area, or the downtown,
That was pretty.
it's
Yeah.
phenomenal. So,
I would entertain a motion to approve the contract with LD Kearns for $3,149,884.57 for
I
the
will
demolition.
make that motion.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there further discussion or questions? Call for a vote, please.
Hanlon,
Aye.
Noggle,
Aye.
Spoon,
Aye.
Wagers,
Aye.
Mullins.
Aye. Item 49, any matter that could not be brought to hand beforehand.
no.
Move to item 50, announcements. Just let me make sure that everybody understands, on May the 13th, we have a special meeting in this room at lunchtime to sell bonds, buy bonds, whatever we do with bonds, but Zach Robinson will be here for that.
That's
So,
correct.
13.
For that, on the 13th of May. Any other?
I have an announcement. I
announcement.
just want to say thank you to all the teachers and TAs and paras out there. It is Teacher Appreciation Week, and we appreciate you and all that you do. So
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely.
I'll second that one. I like that one. Mr. Noggle, item number 51.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
We got a motion and a second. Call for a vote, please.
Hanlon,
Aye.
Noggle,
Aye.
Spoon,
Aye.
Wagers,
Aye.
Mullins.
Thank you all for joining us tonight.